Good stuff. Going to be a nice day today.
Yeah, Scott's headed to shoot a match this morning, and I'm headed to a Pop Warner football game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm driving right now. I got about another 45 minutes to get there.
Well, should time out pretty close then. And
yeah, wait on me.
Scott, you're down in Arizona, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All righty.
We haven't found his house yet in North Dakota, but he's been looking.
Go to the west side of the Dakota Territory. Trust me. Better coyotes and better people.
My wife's got 5 more years to retire, so we're looking to get out of here. This place gotten too big.
What area you in Arizona?
So we're just southeast of Phoenix. So in the Phoenix metro area, but the southeast portion of it. Chandler.
Yeah, I heard that area's grown substantially.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, well, good enough. So you run Specialized Dynamics down in Arizona here. I got a text message. Morning, Scott and Scott. So there you go. There's a fellow coyote hunter right there, already listening on YouTube. Do you have like a building here? You do it out of your out of your home, or how do you do your custom rifles?
Yeah, we have a shop in the next town over. It's called Mesa.
Sure.
We have about 1,700 square foot. Not a big shop, but it's enough for the 3 of us and one part-time guy building rifles every day.
Okay, good enough. I think my brother has a place down in Mesa. Somewhere out there. Yeah.
I know Blake's grandparents come down every winter.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose you get enough of the Dakota Territory people moving down for the winter.
Yeah, we got a lot of Canadians too.
Okay. The only thing I know about Canada is I've been watching a Hulu show based out of Canada, and it's funny to me. Maybe to other people it's mean and not politically correct, and that's just fine with me. Blake, any coyote tournaments coming up you can send my way? Get some announcements out?
What ones? I haven't really seen too many yet, but they're going to start popping up here.
Yeah, the South Dakota side sent me a whole bunch of them already here.
Yeah, it's going to be that time of the year. It's still at 32 degrees here in Minot right now, so.
It's time. They're definitely priming up here really, really nice.
I wish we had this weather when Scott was here a couple weeks ago, but it was 89 degrees.
Yeah.
We couldn't hunt during the day, so they put me on a combine.
Well, there you go. Sometimes, though, sitting in a combine or even the grain cart, there's a good chance you might see a coyote. And they usually just walk away. They don't even get scared after a while. Got to take them, bring them out here to the Badlands. We'll hunt some of the canyons out here.
He can barely walk in the fields of Minot.
Stop it.
Good stuff. All right, South Dakota Station. Morning, Chuck. Morning, Karen. Good to have you guys with me, ready to go. Mike, hope everything's well with your wife. Hopefully everything went well. Morning from Beet Fields, north of Glick, Minnesota. Good morning, Mr. Anderson.
Scott's going to take me to the, what is it called? The Western.
Yeah.
Western Hunt Expo and Conservation Show in Salt Lake in February.
February? Awesome.
So hopefully I could find one day to shoot an Arizona coyote.
Yeah. Did they, Scott, do they still have that big coyote tournament in Arizona? I mean, that was like it was like nationally big. What the hell was that called again?
Yeah, they had the World Series for quite a while. They rotated every couple of years, but 2 years ago they shut our tournament down. So New Mexico, Colorado, and Arizona, we can't have any coyote tournaments anymore.
I know. Yeah, all the PETA lovers shut that down. That was my next follow-up question. We'll talk about that too.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But they sure complain when their little Fifi gets eaten by a coyote.
Yeah. Let Fifi get eaten. Yeah, it's something other really shutting, especially in your area over there through California and now up in the Washington area, of course. And it's getting even into the western side of Montana. That's getting scary too.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah. That's why the Dakota Territory is still rocking and rolling. All right, stations, minute 15. Minute 15 to go. Where are you headed to, Blake? Again, you said a football game we're at?
Yeah, just in Minot.
Oh, okay. I graduated from Minot State.
Nice. And then Scott's, like I said, he's going to go try to shoot against these young pups that are starting to be a little bit better shooters than him.
Yeah, I used to compete a lot, and I started our club 10 years ago or so, and maybe 15 years ago. Now my brother and sister-in-law and a couple good friends run the club. I just don't have time anymore with the business and the family.
So is it a long-range shooting contest?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. All right, stand by here. I'm going to do a countdown for the station. Stations, 15 seconds on mark. 15 seconds. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Good morning, everybody. Scott Bachmeyer with you here, and a great morning to watch the sun starting to rise up out of the east and get out and do some bird hunting. Maybe you're still trying to fill your archery tag, but for some of us, these cooler temperatures and getting the middle to the end of October means it's time to get out and get some coyote hunting done, too. Thanks to all the radio stations carrying Dakota Prairie Outdoors live and local for many years now. KFYR in Bismarck, Mandan, KCJB up in the Minot area, KLTC in the western edge of Dickinson, KOLY, the beautiful area, Mobridge, South Dakota, and KGFX, the capital city of Pierre, South Dakota as well, plus everybody watching on my YouTube feed and on my channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. Hey, first, stop down to Action Motorsports on the Strip in Mandan. Get in on the Polaris Ag Advantage, which gives any egg producer 10% off any new Sportsman, Ranger, General, or Razor. Also, if you need any accessories, oil change kits, updated tires, and rims, Action Motorsports can set you up. It's Action Motorsports on the Strip in Mandan. Let's go to Blake Erickson from Dakota Predator Hunters joins me this morning. Good morning, Blake.
Good morning. Good to be on the show again.
Thank you. Scott Milkovich, shot of Specialized Dynamics Custom Rifles out of Arizona, joins me. Morning, Scott.
Good morning, sir.
So first and foremost, Scott, we have to wish Blake a happy birthday. He's, I don't know if he's even out of his 20s yet.
Yeah, 28.
Yeah, I called him for his birthday, and that morning he didn't want to get out of bed.
Well, depends on where he celebrated his birthday. That's the key on that. There's no doubt about that. So happy birthday, Blake. Good to have you along with me this morning. Are you out doing any coyote hunting yet, Blake, right now with these cooler temperatures sitting in? And not only that, but it's the middle of October. It's time to go out and shoot something, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess I haven't since Scott flew in on right around the 1st of October. We went up to Montana and did some day hunting, did some night hunting. Obviously, we were talking earlier that the temperatures were in the 90s in the day, so we did a lot more at night. But
So is night hunting becoming more and more affordable? Let me ask you that, Blake. Is it finally getting to be where more and more people are doing this night hunting? And then I have a follow-up question for you on that too.
Depends on if you're me or someone else. I finally bit the bullet and I got a Rico MK1 640 resolution from iRay I got it actually from James O'Neill down in South Dakota, and
Mm-hmm.
my brother-in-law has the same scope, so that's what we were running. I guess we had two of them.
Now, the follow-up question is, I have every year I do the fur auction in Bismarck, Mandan. We do two of them. And I think the rest of the entire nation kind of sets their prices off of that first sale that we have in North Dakota. But I have a lot of people coming up and saying that night hunting is ruining coyote hunting during the day. What do you say about that?
I guess I don't know. It doesn't seem like it affects me or the guys that hunt with anyway. But I can tell you one thing, that night hunting definitely is a game changer.
Yeah. Well, I just got into some of the thermal optics last year, so I'm kind of a newbie at it here. If people want to call in, 888-932-5682 is the toll-free number. That's 888-932-5682. As you do, you'll automatically be put on hold. We'll get to your calls as soon as we can. And let's go to Jesse here as he's heading to an auction. I'm guessing, Jesse, you're on with Blake and Scott from Specialized Dynamics. How you doing this morning, Jesse?
Doing good on our way to an auction, just going across the crossing with Lake Skakawea on our left and Audubon on our right. And it made me think to ask Blake a question. Have you ever night hunted and called coyotes out on the lake? I'm thinking that along the lake's edge and on the frozen water, that would be a pretty good deal.
I have not, but I know John and Emmett, they have, and they had a tough time getting them to come out on the ice. But we've always wanted to take a boat and get up in the hills on the reservation there, but we just never have.
I know a guy with a boat. Say we'll listen to the rest of the show, guys, on the way to this auction with Wolf Auctioneers west of Garrison. Have a good day, and we'll listen to the rest. Thanks for coming on and talking about coyotes.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks for the call, Jesse. 888-932-5682 is the number if you want to give a call. Now, Blake, that's one thing that a lot of people are curious, because when those folks that live up around the Lake Skakawea, and then you see like myself on the Little Missouri River, in the wintertime, I have very good luck calling on that Little Missouri River every once in a while. It seems like it's a highway for a lot of these coyotes here in the Badlands.
Yeah, I guess we've always hunted a lot up on the Skakawea, but just never, I guess, been right on the ice. Usually up in the hills there.
Yeah. Well, Scott Milkovich, you are with Specialized Dynamics. Tell me a little bit about what Specialized Dynamics custom rifle building is, and what you guys do, where you're located, and kind of give a summary of what you got going.
Well, thanks, Scott. I appreciate you having me on. We are a custom rifle company. Mainly, we do custom AR-15s, AR-10s. I started the company about 14 years ago, and before that, I worked for a couple other smaller companies here in the Arizona, Phoenix area. So I'm located in the southeast portion of Phoenix. I live in Chandler, but our shop is in Mesa. We have a nice shop. We just started doing some carbon fiber barrels, similar to the Proof. Proof barrels are great barrels, but we just couldn't get some of the calibers that we specialize in. We have the only 22-250 AR-10 that doesn't take any special mags. There's a couple other folks that have the 22-250 and the AR-10, but they have a proprietary mag. And we made it so you could use just a standard 308 mag. We use the Magpul P mags. And as long as you put 7 in the rifle or less, it'll function 100%. Once you go above 7, the taper of the case starts to cause the feeding issues. But we probably build probably 150, 200 rifles a year. I bet we sell probably 8 or 9 AR-10s to 1 AR-15 now. So the two most popular calibers that we sell are 243 and 22-250. But we still do a plethora of like 22 Noslers, 6.5 Grendel. I have my own Wildcat out. I call it the Super 6. And all that is a 22 Nosler necked up to 6 millimeter. And I brought that up in North Dakota a couple weeks ago and hunted with Blake. And it's a, I'm a little biased, of course, because I made it, but it's a hammer on coyotes. We got our first coyote of the trip. It was a female about 256 yards, and it just dropped her in her tracks. I'm using a 65 grain bullet, the VMAX, going about 3,300 feet per second.
Now, when you talk about ARs being kind of, the most of the rifles that you guys specialize in, what's the draw to that when it comes to either shooting competitions, or is it just for coyote hunting? I mean, where do your rifles actually go to?
Yeah, I would say 95% of them to the coyote hunters.
Okay.
We are nationwide. We sell a lot of rifles up in the Dakota Territory. Blake's done a superb job helping me out in marketing. And just to backtrack just a little bit, Blake was one of my first customers of the 22-250, and that's how we met.
Yeah.
And we just started talking on Facebook, and he just kept telling me to come to North Dakota, and I finally did it two or 3 years ago, and I make a yearly trip every year now. So I met Blake through the company, and I got several friends like that. But we're all over the place, and like I said, 95% of them are coyote hunters.
You bet. Well, stand by here. We're up against our first sponsor break. We have Blake Erickson with Dakota Predator Hunters, Scott Milkovich with Specialized Dynamics. We'll be back with more Dakota Prairie Outdoors after these messages.
Hi, this is Andy Maroc with Piper's Auctioneers, hosting these farm, retirement, and estate auctions in Kenmare, Turtle Lake, Steele, and Bowman, North Dakota, Cavour and Worthing, South Dakota, and Piper's quarterly Upper Midwest online-only auctions and regional auctions. Piper's upcoming auctions feature grain trucks and trailers, John Deere four-wheel drive and R-Series tractors, harvest equipment and hay equipment featuring a 2018 McDonough 1170 Swather. Full inventory details and online bidding is available at pipers.com.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust's Foundation Female Program is now accepting applications through October 15th for area youth enrolled in 7th or 8th grade. The Foundation Female Program was established to award recipients with an interest-free loan to purchase 5 bred heifers and assist area youth in establishing their own cattle herd. For more information, qualifications, or to apply for a chance to receive a 0% APR loan, please visit your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust or go to dakotacommunitybank.com.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Our outdoor heritage is important to North Dakotans, and the state's oil and natural gas industry is advancing the possibilities for conservation. The North Dakota Outdoor Heritage Fund receives up to $40 million per biennium from oil and natural gas taxes. The industry is reclaiming land for future generations, and it's developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. North Dakota Oil and Natural Gas, advancing the possibilities. Brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Foundation.
Hi, this is Andy Maroc with Piper's Auctioneers, hosting these farm, retirement, and estate auctions in Kenmare, Turtle Lake, Steele, and Bowman, North Dakota, Cavour and Worthing, South Dakota, and Piper's quarterly Upper Midwest online-only auctions and regional auctions. Piper's upcoming auctions feature grain trucks and trailers, John Deere four-wheel drive and R-Series tractors, harvest equipment and hay equipment featuring a 2018 McDonough 1170 Swather. Full inventory details and online bidding is available at pipers.com.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust Foundation Female Program is now accepting applications through October 15th for area youth enrolled in 7th or 8th grade. The Foundation Female Program was established to award recipients with an interest-free loan to purchase 5 bred heifers and assist area youth in establishing their own cattle herd. For more information, qualifications, or to apply for a chance to receive a 0% APR loan, please visit your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust or go to dakotacommunitybank.com.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition. If you want to catch my daily program, each and every one of these stations carries it. All depending on the time, of course, but if you want to catch it and you miss it once in a while, you can always go to dakotaprairieoutdoors.com and catch up with them. Hey, coming up, the Fallon County Wild Game Feed is November 13th in Baker, Montana. Over 100 guns up for giveaway with auctions, guaranteed auctions, raffles. We have safaris we're going to be raffling off here, and just a lot of fun. 100% free will offering on everything that when you come in. Plus, you got elk, deer, buffalo, antelope, moose, maybe some mountain lion. We're going to have a free will offering game feed as well. Again, that's November 13th. Once again, Blake Erickson from Dakota Predator Hunters and Scott Milkovich from Specialized Dynamics Custom Rifles here has joined me this morning. Gentlemen, I hope the break wasn't too long and you got closer and closer to your destination. But I got a question. If people want to message me via social media, you can sure do that. If you want to text me at 701-425-6651, or you can always call in toll-free 888-932-5682. So, Scott, I'm going to give this question to you here first. I don't know if you're familiar with what EHD is. I'm sure Blake has explained to you a little bit what North and South Dakota have been going, and Montana for that matter. All of our white-tailed deer are pretty much dying off here. Some people say up to 80% of the whitetail population dead. So Darren from Hazen says, with all the dead deer around, do you think it's going to be tougher to call in coyotes this year? Scott, what do you think?
It can be. One of the things that we ran into last year, we were hunting after deer season and playing distress sounds, rabbit, bird. We had a hard time getting the coyotes to come in because there's a lot of gun piles and carcasses laying everywhere that we saw. We hunted a little bit further south in North Dakota, and I'm not sure exactly where, but it was a little bit tougher to hunt during the daytime last December when I was down there. I think it was beginning of December when I was down there for one of the tournaments at the Boys Scouts in Dickinson.
Yeah.
I really think it's, when they have that much food and not having to worry about it, they don't come into the rabbit as much. So we got them mostly on like pup bites and vocals.
Sure. Blake, how about you? What do you think? It's going to be a little tougher calling this year with all the dead whitetail?
Yeah, I mean, we can, even when we were hunting in Montana, we could tell that the rabbits and the bird distresses weren't working as good as just, putting a soft pup distress on. Even calling in pups, usually you start off with something that's not going to scare these young pups away. And I think it's going to be harder to get them in with rabbit distress, yes.
Okay. Now, Scott, when it comes to building ARs, one of the concerns for some people is they don't reach out as far a distance as maybe a bolt rifle or something like that. What do you say to folks that may have that in the back of their head?
Yeah, there is a lot of misconceptions about the ARs aren't as accurate. And I'll say that I get some really big groups out of the ARs that I have that I've built myself. It's a different technique how to shoot them. you have to stay in the recoil longer just because there's so many moving parts. But I've shot I have a 6 Creedmoor AR-10 that I've shot out to 1450, and I have it on video it's an older video on YouTube, but you could definitely reach out on some of the ARs. I mean, you're not going to ever get out to like a 300 Win mag or a 7 mil mag with an AR. But, for coyote hunting, I think my longest kill ever, and it was a lucky one, was like 550 yards. So it could definitely do it for sure.
So what is an effective range, Blake, for coyote hunting? And where do you feel is an effective range for your shot?
I like the 400 and in. I mean, I'll take a shot at 450, but I know I've seen him make some shots farther than that, in around North Dakota and Montana, but I like to stay in that 450.
And how about you, Scott? What's your effective range that you'd like to stay within?
I'm very confident out to 500.
Yeah.
Knowing your gun and knowing what the bullet does is a key.
So what if you can't get that coyote to come in that 500 yards? What if they're stuck at 600 and 700 yards and just kind of sit there and make fun of you? What do you do then?
Well, we've had that happen before, and there's a video of Blake actually, especially if the terrain dictates it. I mean, you could sneak up on them, you could get low and you crawl. We also throw different sounds at it, try to get that reaction from it. But sometimes one of the guys from Dakota Predator Hunters, Emmett, he's really good about, hey, if they're not answering, we're going to them. And Emmett's really good about that.
Yeah, one of the things I like to do is if they get hung up, I like to try to get in on them. I like to spot and stalk if they're not responding. And like you said, after the deer season, especially in the Dakota Territory after November, it seems like these coyotes get a little bit gun shy because so many people have been taking shots at them while they were deer hunting, and whether getting them or not here, but it sure seems like in November going into December, it seems like it gets a little bit on the tougher side. So when it comes to building a good quality rifle, what's one of the best things that you do with its specialized dynamics? Is it the receiver? Is it the barrels? Is it a combination of everything?
I think it's a combination of everything, but the two most critical ones, I think, is your barrel and your trigger.
Okay. So what type of barrels do you make your own?
No, we use McGowan out of Montana. They're out of Kalispell, Montana. It's what we use mostly. We've used some Schillens before. We also use some Green Mountains occasionally. It's hard to find a bad barrel nowadays with all the CNC programming, and we do use a match grade barrel, and we also chamber mostly with Sammy spec, but there's a couple reamers that we have that are short throat. Like we're ordering a 6 Creedmoor for a short throat, so guys could use the lighter bullets trying to get that that super high speed. I got one customer who's trying to go 4,000 feet per second. And speed kills, don't get me wrong, but speed's not everything. I'd rather have accuracy and energy.
If you're
go ahead.
Yeah, if you're getting up over 4,000, don't you have a chance of tumbling or not?
Yeah, and it depends on your barrel twist. With those guys using the lighter bullets, we'll go to a 9 or a 10 twist. But typically a 6 Creedmoor is a 1 and 8 twist.
Yeah. Yeah, it surprises me that I know speed kills and everything, but what do you think is their concept? Faster is better all the time?
I think it's the night hunters. You lose that depth perception at night through your thermal, and so they want the fastest, flattest shooting bullet they could have. So if it's, it's hard to tell between a 200 and 300 yard object in your thermal, which I'm not a thermal expert by any means. We can't hunt with thermal night vision here. So I have a super hogster, but it's just for when I go to Texas or Utah, or when I come up in the wintertime after deer season for up in North Dakota, or we'll go over to the eastern side of Montana.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one thing. A lot of states, it took a long time to get it up here in the Dakota Territory, didn't it, Blake? I mean, thermals, and we're still fighting the coyote seasons year round, but we can only use it after deer season up until March 15th, which I don't quite understand. But it did take a little bit on the legislative side to get it passed, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't agree with it at all. I mean, I got some ranchers that don't even start calving until February, and they're trying to tell me to come out here and help them, and you can't even do anything about it. I've called the Game and Fish, and it's until you get it passed, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. March 15th is the cutoff where we can't, and I start calving March 28th to April 1st, and the same thing there. And then, there's some people always say too, they're like, well, you can do anything you want to protect your herd, but I don't trust that sometimes here. And we have a person, a Silverman 1066 is responding on social media on my YouTube channel, says, I own a 22-250 and sell SD rifles. Scott's great to deal with. So I'm not sure if you guys know who that is.
What was the username?
Silverman.
I don't.
Yeah. So, but anyway, let me know. He can message me your full name, and I'll give you some dibs coming up that way. Hey, we're up against another break. Gentlemen, stay with us. Blake Erickson from Dakota Predator Hunters and Scott Milkovich from Specialized Dynamics Rifles here. Keep them with me. We'll see you in the second half of the show here, right here. It's Robert Silverman is the name, guys, so we'll give him credit there. We'll find out more. You can go to sdrifles.com and follow along here for the second half of the show. Back after these messages.
Hi, this is Andy Maroc with Pfeiffer's Auctioneers, hosting these farm, retirement, and estate auctions in Kenmare, Turtle Lake, Steele, and Bowman, North Dakota, Cavor and Worthing, South Dakota, and Pfeiffer's quarterly Upper Midwest online-only auctions and regional auctions. Pfeiffer's upcoming auctions feature grain trucks and trailers, John Deere 4-wheel drive and R-Series tractors, harvest equipment and hay equipment featuring a 2018 McDonough 1170 Swather. Full inventory details and online bidding is available at Pfeiffer's.com.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust Foundation Female Program is now accepting applications through October 15th for area youth enrolled in 7th or 8th grade. The Foundation Female Program was established to award recipients with an interest-free loan to purchase 5 bred heifers and assist area youth in establishing their own cattle herd. For more information, qualifications, or to apply for a chance to receive a 0% APR loan, please visit your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust or go to dakotacommunitybank.com.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Our outdoor heritage is important to North Dakotans, and the state's oil and natural gas industry is advancing the possibilities for conservation. The North Dakota Outdoor Heritage Fund receives up to $40 million per biennium from oil and natural gas taxes. The industry is reclaiming land for future generations, and it's developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. North Dakota Oil and Natural Gas, advancing the possibilities. Brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Foundation.
Hi, this is Andy Maroc with Pfeiffer's Auctioneers, hosting these farm, retirement, and estate auctions in Kenmare, Turtle Lake, Steele, and Bowman, North Dakota, Cavor and Worthing, South Dakota, and Pfeiffer's quarterly Upper Midwest online-only auctions and regional auctions. Pfeiffer's upcoming auctions feature grain trucks and trailers, John Deere 4-wheel drive and R-Series tractors, harvest equipment and hay equipment featuring a 2018 McDonough 1170 Swather. Full inventory details and online bidding is available at Pfeiffer's.com.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust Foundation Female Program is now accepting applications through October 15th for area youth enrolled in 7th or 8th grade. The Foundation Female Program was established to award recipients with an interest-free loan to purchase 5 bred heifers and assist area youth in establishing their own cattle herd. For more information, qualifications, or to apply for a chance to receive a 0% APR loan, please visit your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust or go to dakotacommunitybank.com.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition here this morning, live and local all across the Fruited Plains. KGFX out of Pierre, KOLY in Mobridge, KLTC Dickinson, KCJB in Minot, and KFire 550 in Bismarck, Mandan. Ask and you shall receive. I was talking about what's up for coyote tournaments. Well, South Dakota Coyote Tournaments, October 22nd and 23rd, the Bad River Sportsman's Club Fall Contest and Phillip Youth Partner Contest in Kyle, a same weekend on that one. On December 3rd and 4th, it's the Todd Antonson Memorial in Phillip. December 10th and 11th, Day County Hunt in Roslyn. December 17th and 18th is the Randy Rohde Memorial in Grey Goose. And there's more coming up. The annual Pheasant Fire and Rescue Coyote Tournament in North Dakota is going to be February 5th. The Coyote Classic from Jamie Olson here is going to be January 8th. And the 6th Annual Predator Hunt in Esmond Volunteer Fire Department, December 18th. And Blake, I saw one from Dakota Predator Hunters on here too. Gladstone Knights of Columbus 2nd Annual Hunt, October 29th and 30th. That's coming up here shortly, too.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one. I don't think there's a date. Well, obviously the Christmas for Kids is always that second or first weekend in December, so
sure,
whatever that date is.
Yeah. Explain a little bit about Christmas for Kids, too. That's a great tournament that you put on, and I know Jesse was part of that last year a little bit, too, with you.
Yeah, that's John and Emmett. They work very hard to put that tournament on, and all the money that's raised through the selling of the coyotes to the entry fee money all goes back to social services and gets put into a fund that they go buy gifts for, and then they hand it out to all the kids that are just less needy or can't afford to have gifts during Christmas.
Mm-hmm. That's a great thing that you guys do for that. That's nice. I like tournaments like that. Now, I have one for here, Scott Milkovich here from Specialized Dynamics. I got a text message from Ivan Lardy. He says, I got a 22-250 from Scott. If you want to play with it sometime, he says, come on down and do that here. But he says a very good custom rifle builder. So we got customers listening here this morning, Scott.
That's great. I posted on my Facebook too. I don't know how many listeners we got from me, but I truly appreciate you having me on, and I love, especially North Dakota. One of the things I told the guys over at Dakota Predator Hunters, I did the Christmas for Kids tournament last year. I flew up there.
Oh, good.
And it's like a community, and sort of miss that. I grew up in the Midwest, just south of Chicago, even though that's not the greatest place now. But back then, growing up, it was a big community, and you knew your neighbors, and you'd wave hi to everybody, and that's how I feel North Dakota is, and I don't have that here in Phoenix. So, that's one of the things that I really like about North Dakota is the community.
Yeah. Well, I think that goes to say across the whole Dakota territory. I do a lot of tournaments down in the Black Hills area, and it's same thing down there. It's just a great fundraiser. We have a lot of fun down that way too, and since I live, I'm just as close to anywhere here from Montana, South Dakota, where I live here in the Southern Badlands. So I get a lot of tournaments all across the tri-state area. A lot of fun. So, besides tournaments coming up, let's talk a little bit more about rifle building here. If somebody wants to, kind of design one, they have something thought up in their head, Scott, how do they go about talking with you? And do you give them custom rifles isn't something that everybody has. It's one of those things. It has to be something that they're going to want. Do you kind of take them through the whole process and explain, well, maybe you want this and no, you don't want that? I mean, how does it go?
Yeah, no, I definitely throw my opinion in there, and I make sure they know that it's just an opinion. But we also, on our website, we have a custom rifle builder. So you go on there and you choose your AR-15 or your AR-10, and then your caliber and your barrel length, and there's different options for your handguard, for your trigger. We typically use Timney triggers in most of our builds, but if you wanted a trigger tech or if you wanted a jewel or anything else, we are all about that. We want to build the rifle for the customer, and either they call the shop, I answer the phone, they can email us, Facebook or Instagram Messenger. I try to talk to every single customer to get a feel for what they want and what they're using it for. And like I said, most of our customers are coyote hunters, and I've been coyote hunting for 25 years, so I know what sort of works and what doesn't work on the rifles. And I ask them if they're shooting suppressed. If they're shooting suppressed with an AR-10, I highly recommend like the JP high pressure bolt, which takes a little bit of the pressure away. And just little things like that. I try to convey it to the customer.
I was just going to ask you about suppressors on ARs. It seems like it really gets them dirty in a hurry, doesn't it?
It does, because all that back pressure from your suppressor goes into your action where your trigger is and your chamber. There's a couple ways. I mean, each powder's a little bit cleaner or dirtier than the next, so that has a big play in it. But a lot of these newer suppressors, and I'm not sponsored by any of them, but like OSS, they have some suppressors now that don't have all the back pressure and don't get your ammo and your chamber and trigger dirty like the older suppressors do.
That's one thing. How do you keep your actions when it gets super cold? So Jesse and I did a tournament years and years ago. It was based out of Mandan, I believe, and the ambient temperature without the wind chill was 30 below zero. And he was having issues with his AR just freezing up. Even the firing pin was just, we were getting in and out of the pickup. You jump in and there's a little bit of frost on the rifle. It would melt off. Then we'd jump out and go do a couple sets, come back in and warm up. How do you keep that from happening?
That's hard because you have that condensation from going in and out all the time.
Yeah.
One of the things that I see guys do that could eliminate or reduce that is using less lube. I see most people putting too much oil on their bolt carrier. I see guys slathering up. In the wintertime, don't use like the grease. Use like 5-weight synthetic motor oil.
Really?
That works really well. Yeah, that's what we use in the shop is just 5-weight synthetic motor oil.
That's funny you say that.
For the high heat and the cold.
Yeah.
A really funny one, I got to tell you this. We were in Montana and his gun got kind of dirty from riding on a four-wheeler, and he told me, pop the hood, I need to use your dipstick. I was like, what?
I did. We were in some very powdery sand in Montana in the Billings area. Is it Billings that we went to?
Yeah.
Yes. And it was, man, we were only on 2 quads with 3 of us, and I'm not the littlest guy, and riding on the back of the quad is, that wasn't very fun. It's a story for another time, though.
Well, it's interesting you say using the oil like that because I was discussing another AR company years and years ago. I asked him the same question. How do you keep it from, sticking on you? And he said he uses 2-stroke, like motorcycle oil is what he used. And so it kind of verifies using the 5-weight engine oil and everything like that, synthetic. Like it. So must be true. 2 people that have used it now, and I guess that'll work that way. But most of the people don't go coyote hunting when it's 32 below, though.
Yeah. Last year when I was up in North Dakota in December, Blake and I went out and tried our hand at some thermal hunting, and it was 24 below, and neither one of us were dressed for it. And it reminded me of those cold days in Chicago, and I lived in Alaska for a few years when I was in the military. it was tough.
Marty Beard just texted me. He says you should use a little rendered coon oil. He said that works on his AR. Well, when you're looking at custom rifle building, I guess, it seems like more and more people have started doing this over the years. Why do you think that is, Scott? Because is it just the quality of the big box stores has gone down, do you think? Or, I mean, what do you think is the reason for a lot of these custom shops that have been popping up over the last few years?
I think it's more to buy what you want. One of the premises when I first started my business 13, 14 years ago is I bought a rifle off the shelf and I tore it apart and put the parts that I wanted. Then you got a pile of parts that you can't do nothing with.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, and my whole thing too is customer service. That's why I talk to every single customer. Some guys aren't very happy right now because we can't get barrels as fast as we want, but
right.
As long as you stay communication with them, usually everything's fine. But I think that's what it is people want certain things, a better trigger, a better barrel. Some people don't like a collapsible stock. They want an Ace Skelton stock or the Magpul PRS stock. Everybody's different and has their own opinions on that.
I was just going to ask, is it hard to get parts right now? Is most of what you do American made, or do you have to rely on some parts from overseas? And is this, I don't know what you even call it. You see all the ships, all the cargo ships sitting out there. And well, is that getting to the mom and pop stores too?
It's not affecting me. Everything that we do is 100% American made. We use Timney triggers. We use two machine shops here in Arizona for our handguards and for our upper and lower receivers. Butt stocks and everything. We use Magpul, which are made here. I think the hardest part for me right now is barrels, especially the longer barrels. So I'm not sure if it's a supply chain with raw materials for the barrel companies, but that's our biggest weight. Everything else we have in stock and on the shelves, just waiting on barrels.
It's just amazing how we're short of everything and the price of everything continues to go up. Now, Coyote tournaments in Arizona got shut down here a couple years ago by, the extremists. And explain a little bit about, how are you guys combating that you can't even do a tournament anymore. And you guys used to hold the world coyote hunting tournament in Arizona. Yeah.
And I started the Arizona Coyote Calling Championship. So it was our state championship tournament. Me and a friend, Brian Brooks, up north in Arizona. And we had 60 people our first year and we were turning people away after the third or fourth year. We just couldn't handle that many people. There is a need for it. And just like you guys, the coyotes are tearing up our wildlife. I go to New Mexico every year to hunt on a ranch that the rancher pays us because he does spring calving and he does fall calving. So he tries to get us out there twice a year right before he does his calving and just trying to thin out the herd. So the coyotes are everywhere and it's sort of sad that they, cut out the tournaments. And I've heard some guys doing it underground. I don't want to elaborate too much. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but we do one up in the Navajo Nation, the four corners of Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah, the big Navajo Indian reservation. I know the guys that put that on, they do a fantastic job and they have a big tournament. So it didn't affect the reservations and we still do it up there.
Sure. What states had the tournament shut down again? Which ones did you tell me?
New Mexico, Colorado, Arizona.
Okay.
For sure.
I thought California too, but I'm not positive on that part. But what is it coming our way, Scott? Everybody calls me a conspiracy theorist, but it's going to be coming to the Dakota Territory eventually. Somebody's going to say and bring something up to the legislature one of these years. And what can we do to fight that right now? What can we do to be proactive?
I think there's a couple of things. I think it's critical that we talk to our ranchers and our farmers and even our I'm not sure what you guys, but our game and fish officials.
Yeah.
We have a commission here in Arizona that's, I don't want to say very liberal, but they're not very conservative. But you got to vote for what we believe in. I know that sounds cliche, but you really do. You have to get the people in office that have the same agenda. I don't want to say agenda, but the same beliefs and principles that we have.
Yeah. And that's getting harder and harder when the urban areas are, even in North Dakota, there's redistricting now because there's more population. Watford City is going to get an extra district, and I think Cass County is going to get an extra district over there too. So when it comes to the urbanized part of it, a lot of those people haven't ever shot a coyote. They haven't ever pulled a calf or seen a calf eaten the next morning right next to the cow that had it. So, I mean, it's getting harder and harder that way. But night hunt, well, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, just like you said, in the southwest portion of Montana, you get a lot of these guys moving from California, and it's going to spread from Bozeman to Billings, and it's going to keep going east. And then Minnesota and Bismarck's a little bit bigger town. If it starts spreading west, then we're all in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Fur market. Blake, what do you think coyotes are going to be worth this year? Everybody asks me, and I believe, like everything else that has happened here since last January, I think prices might be looking to go up a little bit. Well, what's your take?
Yeah, I think that they're going to be about similar as last year, but maybe up a little bit on the really good coyotes. I still think that the ones that are coming in that are, they're not very heavy. They're still going to be $20, $25. But I think, last year we were getting on a really, really good coyote that if you got $55, you were happy. I think that might slide up a little bit, but I was talking to a guy yesterday that buys furs, and he's thinking it's going to be pretty similar as last year.
Yeah. Scott, coming up to the Dakota Territory in Montana, we have some of the best coyotes in the world, I'm going to say, because I've seen the auctions. I've seen what people like and what they have. And isn't it fun to come up and see some of these nice silver coyotes up here sometimes?
Oh, it's beautiful. Just the amount of fur that they have on it compared to what we have. A lot of people think Arizona is all desert, but if you draw a line right in the middle of Arizona, the southern half is desert and the northern half is all mountain. So I go up north and hunt a little bit, and the fur's a little bit better, but it's nothing like what you guys have. I'm the first coyote I killed with John and Emmett and Blake. We have it on video, and I bet you it was a 42 pound coyote, and it was nothing like I've ever seen.
How big are your coyotes down in the Arizona area?
Oh, probably 25 as an average.
Okay. All right. Do you have quite a fur market down there for those coyotes, or do they not really care for those?
No, the fur market's very poor down here.
Okay.
Once you get up north and in the November, December, when they start furring up, you might get $30 for a furred up coyote for up north, but nothing usually more than that.
Interesting. Well, people want more information about your services, your rifles. What's the easiest way to contact you?
Yeah, we have Facebook and Instagram. Facebook is just Specialized Dynamics. Instagram is SD Custom ARs. Our website is www.sdrifles.com. And our phone number is 480-648-9223. And I'm usually open day, night. If I'm not busy, I'll answer the phone, and I'm always on social media, so they could always hit me up there.
When are you going to put a TikTok video together?
I don't think I'm going to do. I'm going to wait till my little girls get. I'm going to wait till my little girls get a little bit older and let them handle that.
I think you and Blake should do a TikTok challenge, some dance challenge with the rifle with rifle in hand. I think that would give you guys a little bit more going there. Blake, what do you think?
I like watching TikTok, but I don't like doing them.
Gentlemen, I appreciate you coming on to my show here. We're up against the clock here for another Saturday. Thank you so much, both of you guys, for coming on, and we'll talk to you hopefully in the next month or so when we're shooting coyotes full time.
Thanks, Scott. I appreciate you having me on.
You bet. Thanks a lot, Blake. You guys have a good day. You bet. Once again, Blake Erickson from Dakota Predator Hunters and Scott Milkovich from Specialized Dynamics. Once again, if you have questions or comments for either of those gentlemen, you can go to their Facebook pages, of course, all the social media platforms. And if you want a custom rifle build, sdrifles.com, sdrifles.com. Once again, Coyote tournaments coming up here. I'm going to go through these here a little bit. We have the Dakota Predator Hunters Gladstone Knights of Columbus second annual Coyote contest, October 29 and 30th. We have the 6th annual Predator Hunt Esmond Volunteer Firefighting Department, and that's going to be December 18th. And let's see here, coyotehunter.net. You can go find more information. Jamie P. Olson has a few tournaments coming up your way. And the North Dakota Coyote Classic Coyote tournament is going to be January 8th of 2022. The annual Pheasant Fire and Rescue Coyote tournament is coming up your way as well. This is February 5th, and that's 2022 next year as well here. People getting on top of these dates right away. And South Dakota Coyote Tournaments, Bad River Sportsmen's Club is going to be having their fall contest in Phillip, the youth partner contest in Kyle. And if you haven't ever done that, they do a great job with this youth contest. Absolutely phenomenal here. So give those guys a little look here on Facebook. You can find that too. December 3rd and 4th. You can find more of the Todd Antonson Memorial in Phillip. That tournament's coming up. December 10th and 11th, the Day County Hunt in Roslyn. And December 17th and 18th, the Randy Rhodey Memorial in Grey Goose. Now, if you have questions, comments, you have contests that you want on the air and advertise a little bit, feel free to message it through me through Facebook Messenger. My email is scott at ndsupernet.com. And you can send it that way too. Have yourself a great week and enjoy a great Saturday here today. Eat some meat, drink some milk. Thanks for tuning in today. All right, stations, thank you so much. I appreciate that. YouTubers, have yourself a great day. I am going to go ultrasound some cattle for the neighbors. Have a good day.